Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's State of the Market Update. Back in the saddle after taking a few weeks off with Michael Crosby filling in for me. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Tender rejection rates are starting to move up. This is anticipated due to the fact that we are about to head into the Thanksgiving holiday. It's not necessarily an issue of volume surging into the marketplace, which I'll show you here. With our outbound tender volume index in the United States. It did kind of shoot up a little bit over the last bit, but it's still sitting around 96.73, which again is about three and a quarter percentage points lower than the same volume that we experienced in March 1st. Again, we did have a little pickup in volume, but not enough to really be that concerning about capacity. Now, this is a temporary capacity decrease due to the holiday that we're seeing. Some of the markets around the country, the bigger markets that are being impacted by this are the OTRI Atlanta, OTRI.ATL. You see we had a big spike in tender rejections in Atlanta. This has been one of the cooler markets, cooler of the big five markets. Remember Atlanta, Harrisburg, Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas are all kind of the top five markets in the country. Atlanta has been slowly kind of dying or moving down as we've moved into the the cooler months off the June spikes. Now sitting around 9.63%, still historically low for this year, but again, one of the bigger moves. The outbound tender rejection index in Los Angeles is also another one of these kind of starting to heat up markets. You can see here it's been kind of working its way back up over the month of November. It kind of cooled off for a minute, and now it's working back up again. Again, these are the two biggest markets that are making a move today. Elsewhere in the country, something that we have been watching, as I pull up a map to show kind of where the hottest markets of the country are right now. I'm going to pull up the outbound tender rejection index weekly change to kind of illustrate these dark blues sitting up here in New England. So outbound Boston and Springfield are showing up as some of the hottest markets in terms of tender rejection indexes. Now, one of the things that I found looking into this was the fact that most of the tender rejections are happening on loads that are over 250 miles away. So if you're cycling through your L tries, T tries, M tries, S tries, and for the SONAR users, those are all short haul, tweener haul, long haul tender rejection indices. Essentially, they want to, well, I'm going to accept risk. They're going to essentially tell you where the largest tender rejection levels are in a mileage band. So the short haul tender rejection index is about 100 to 250. The mid haul is 250 to 450. Tweener try or tweener haul is the 450 to 800, and anything over 800 is long haul. And anything over like mid haul and above are the ones that are experiencing these higher tender rejection levels. So to give you kind of a visual, that would be anything about right through here. Anything longer than like right in here, around this kind of circle that I'm making. That's your 250 mile band that I'm circling right there. So getting out of New England, which normally is something that is very hard to do, might be easier coming out of Boston and Springfield and Hartford right now. Elsewhere in the country, a lot of the agricultural markets are heating up. Rock Island, Illinois. This is around Davenport, Iowa. Cedar Rapids. This is a heavy agricultural area. Tender rejection levels have spiked over the last 7 days. Down here in Arkansas, this Fayetteville market, heavy reefer activity. Down here, you have a lot of meatpacking plants that are starting to show up as not having capacity. And ironically, Miami down here is having higher rejection levels, which is normally not a market that we have trouble getting capacity in. And then there's the Northwest, Christmas tree season, apples and pears are in season. We're right towards the end of the apple harvest. but we are still cranking out Christmas trees pretty heavily in this area this week. So that about wraps it up for this week. Everybody have a good Thanksgiving and don't eat too much turkey. Thanks.